and welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of my discussion with Wooleygamer on Twitter. So where we left off was him rambling on about Xbox not making Helldivers 2 any money. This is on the back of me just saying they should put the game on Xbox, on more platforms like Xbox, to help give the developers more money, more revenue, because that's what's good for. Well, that's good for gas games, but that's what's good for games in general. The developers getting more money, which is a mantra that the PlayStation fan base push continuously, support the devs, except for when the games to go to Xbox. They don't want them on Xbox, but they want to support the devs. It's an oxymoron, really. But I thought I'd dive into this more and be a lot more specific, because he's confused that the game wouldn't sell on Xbox and would make no money from Game Pass on Xbox. They're based on absolutely nothing whatsoever. He's not based on anything other than his own fanboyism, and he's just being generally disingenuous. So let's just go over how Game Pass makes money for developers. Phil Spencer's already come out with this. This is much more detailed and specific. Making money from Xbox Game Pass. Now that we have a better understanding of what Xbox Game Pass is, because further up it just goes into what Game Pass is, but I won't go into that, is let's explore how game developers can make money from the platform. There are several ways game developers can leverage the platform to monetize their games, including, this is not all the options, but it's including subscription revenue. One of the most obvious ways game developers can make money from Game Pass is by charging players a monthly subscription fee for access to their game. Developers can set different prices for their games based on the features and content they offer, allowing them to maximize revenue. For example, Minecraft, one of the most popular games on Xbox Game Pass, offers players both a free version and a premium version for $9.99 per month. Let's move on to in-game purchases. In addition to subscription revenue, game developers can also make money from Xbox Game Pass by selling in-game purchases. These purchases can include virtual currency, items, or content that enhances the player's experience and provides them with additional value, so basically NFTs. Advertising revenue. Xbox Game Pass also provides developers with the opportunity to generate advertising revenue. Developers can use in-game ads to display ads from other brands or products, allowing them to monetize their games without intruding on the player's experience. Licensing and distribution. Finally, game developers can also make money from Xbox Game Pass by licensing their games for distribution on the platform. Microsoft pays licensing fees to game developers for the right to distribute their games on Xbox Game Pass, providing them with additional revenue streams. Now, I did highlight these to him, but he disbelieved them. He wouldn't believe them. He just says, no, that's not true, because it suits his narrative, because he hates Game Pass and hates Xbox and cannot comprehend that Xbox makes money. He just thinks, I don't know. What was weird, I also meant GTA, because that's what I think I said to him. I said, if nobody makes money, I said, why would GTA be on Game Pass? Why would they put it on Game Pass? Because, you know, GTA is one of the biggest, most successful, in terms of revenue as well, games in the world. Why would they put GTA on Game Pass? And not only put it on Game Pass, take it off, but then put it back on Game Pass? Why would Hideo Kojima put Death Stranding on Game Pass? You know, you've got to wonder, then I can just list and just throw off more and more things. Why would they put their games on Game Pass if they make no money, if there is no revenue to be made from Game Pass? In addition, Phil did say that developers can make money from downloads. They get a revenue stream from each download made, so the more successful games obviously make more money, and it just really helps, especially new developers stuff. But it also helps the AAA developers, because we're seeing AAA games on there. We recently had this AA title, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which I'm sure you've all heard of. This article goes on to say Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has been a huge sales success. Well, I'm surprised to see Microsoft getting zero credit in helping it achieve that. I'm not going to go through it. I'm not going to read it all, but I suggest you go and read this. They say a lot how Microsoft helped in the production and everything to do with this game, and the devs actually thank Microsoft and really thankful for them. But the game has a massive sales success and is on Game Pass, so they made probably a lot of money from just such a small title. So just to finish off, because before we get to the meat and bones of this video, which is going to be entertaining for you all, I assure you, he doesn't know what he's all about. Let's be honest. Wooleygamer has no clue about gaming. He has very little gaming knowledge. And to think that Helldivers 2 would make no money on Xbox, it's absolutely ludicrous and narrow-minded and pretty much very stupid. What's the ironic thing here is that he's talking about he plays Overwatch 2, a free-to-play game on his PlayStation, which is, it's owned by Xbox now. But it's weird that he's sort of promoting the success of Overwatch 2 and enjoying the game and stuff, and it's free to play. I wonder how he thinks that they're making money. It's a free to play game. I wonder how they're making money. I don't know how he just gets his head around these things. I don't know. I don't know if he even thinks of it, or even if he cares, or if he's just enjoying playing the game, which he should do, which is what he should be thinking when Helldivers 2 has come to Xbox. It should be great, more people playing it, because he was talking about he's playing with Xbox gamers on Overwatch 2 and he's really enjoying it. Why doesn't he carry that same energy to Helldivers 2? Is it because it's PlayStation exclusive and he just wants to gatekeep the game? He's quite happy with Xbox sharing their games with PlayStation, but not the other way around. It's got nothing to do with making money or anything like that. He just wants to gatekeep. He doesn't actually care for the developers or the gaming aspect. He just wants to block Xbox and gatekeep games for console wars. So, now the meat and bones. So the conversation continues now because he starts saying that all the games are going to PlayStation. Xbox Game Pass has no exclusives. I highlight Warhammer. Now PlayStation fans are hating Warhammer being exclusive. They actually don't want Xbox to have exclusives, which he seems to think that I'm lying, that no PlayStation fans are against this. So what does he do? He quote tweets me. Now, if anyone knows what quote tweeting is, you generally do what are you, gay? Quote tweeting to get more engagement, to make more people on your own profile see, you come bringing it out of the thread room of this person and bringing it more to your timeline, so more of your people can see it. So you're trying to engage your own fan base and get support from your own fan base. That's generally why people do it. And that's what he does. He completely takes this conversation out of our thread and creates his whole new thread. So it's pretty disingenuous, really, for him to do that. He's obviously engagement farming. And, and goes on to say, who is hating Warhammer Remaster being an exclusive? The entire time we've wanted Xbox to compete. And he's claiming I'm making it up. I'm just creating a narrative. I'm lying. So what I do down here, I post Alex's video, which recently he done, and shows PlayStation fans literally whining and crying about Warhammer being exclusive to Xbox. And this ain't the only one. There's several videos made with different PlayStation fanboys complaining about Warhammer being exclusive and how it isn't fair. So as I was saying, this is where it takes a really weird turn. Because after posting the video of Alex, I go back to my messages and he posts this. After you watched the last video where we were talking about starting a podcast up together, he says this. Sorry dude, but Alex is where I draw the line. Didn't know you were a fan of his. Big no from me. Thumbs up. And I was like, really? Wow? And then he never responded back after that. That was it. As soon as I quoted, oh no, it's Alex, he shut down everything. Not sure why. Weird. Weird, very weird. Obviously, he didn't watch the video and didn't see, because he didn't want to ruin his narrative. He lives in a little bubble world and he knew this would destroy his whole argument. And then he goes into full breakdown mode and he replies to this comment, you aren't making sense, mucker. And I'm done with having a debate with someone who isn't intellectually honest or coherent. You've seen the facts, the evidence here, and coherent. These arguments are all over the place. A Game Pass deal is a one-off payment. In some cases, it could mean royalties, and it may include MTXs, but that is speculative. What? It didn't keep the lights on at Tango? Let's look at the cancellations on PlayStation. What's keeping their lights on? Because their console sales are not keeping their lights on. But yet you want console sales, you want exclusives. We can list off PlayStation exclusives that are failing. As I said to him, Square Enix no longer want their exclusives, their games to be exclusive to Sony because it's just not making them as much money. Hideo Kojima, your hero, is now putting his games on Xbox. It's just your arguments are so weak. Oh, now let's finish up with his walking down the street rant about me and moaning about what I have to say. This is pretty hilarious, what you're about to witness. So let's watch this and I'll just have my say during his whole speech. This is just absolutely brilliant. Let's go.
All I'm going to say, mate, is you're coming from a seat of terrible you know, intellectual dishonesty and bad faith.
The first 2 points, intellectual dishonesty, none. I've quoted facts, I've shared links, I've posted stuff to back up all my claims. You've done none of this. You literally posted nothing and showed nothing. It was all just trust me bro theories. You've got nothing to back up. Anything you said was I did the complete opposite and showed, and I've just showed on this video, facts. You've got nothing, absolute nothing. And bad faith, you started retweeting my stuff, quote tweeting my stuff for engagement. You wanted engagement. You was losing the points and you wanted people, you wanted your own fan base to back you up because you was losing and you knew you was losing. Bad faith, I can't see, I've not done anything at all in bad faith.
Because never did I anywhere say Microsoft should be funding bridges. Like, you need to up your coherency and stop listening to trolls like, you know, the ones you've tagged who don't have an intellectual bone in their body.
Oh, actually, he's correct in this statement. He didn't say bridges. Yeah, he didn't. Because I was thinking, who would advise Microsoft Xbox to spend the 90 billion on bridges? Who would do that? Nobody would do that. That is absolutely stupid. And yeah, he didn't do that. So actually, he was right. He never said that, because that would be absolutely stupid if someone suggests such a stupid thing like buying bridges with their 90 billion pounds.
The fact is, bro, is all I said was to put into perspective the amount they've spent. They could have funded the tunnel from Scandinavia to south of Europe.
What? Yeah, silly me, I was wrong. Bridges. Why would anyone say bridges? That's just stupid. Bridges. Yeah, I meant tunnels. You said tunnels. They should have spent, Xbox should have spent their game sort of money on buying tunnels, 4 tunnels. I don't know why he thinks like this is a sort of gotcha. Oh, I didn't say bridges, that's just stupid. I said tunnels. Why do you just think he's got one up on me? Actually, I've got what you actually said. So let's quickly dive into the thread where you said this, shall we?
The idea of a mega corporation, they're all too quick to shit on, I don't know, like freaking what's his face who bought Twitter, because he's super rich and he's a wealthy rich white man. And it's like, well, fucking look at Microsoft, dude.
Firstly, what does skin colour to do with any of this conversation at all? What does the colour of his skin have to do anything? Secondly, the head of Microsoft isn't white. It's this fella. He's Asian. But anyway, that's by the by. Please carry on your ludicrous rant.
They could have solved world hunger like 3 times over with that deal for Activision, and you're fucking cheerleading this shit. They could have built 15 of them tunnels that connect Scandinavia to Germany.
Actually, because I'm a man of my word, I'll give you the facts. Here are the facts. The tunnel would cost 8 billion. So if you was to buy 15 of them, that'd be 120 billion. So no, they couldn't have afforded 15 tunnels, even if they wanted to build like 15 tunnels connecting Denmark and Germany all in a line. All in a line, 15 tunnels. People would be drunk thinking, why? Oh, why? Why have you built so many tunnels? Oh, man, imagine the damage to the landscape. That was great. These guys brilliant. Could have built 15 tunnels. Why? No, you're a game company. Why would they build 15 tunnels? Just stop it. Stop it. Oh.
I think it was 12 times over. And to solve a lot of the world's crises, you need 40 billion.
Where did you just plug that number from? To solve the world's problems, all the world's problems, you need 40 billion. Where'd you get that from? Yeah, for all the world's issues. Yeah, if we just had 40 billion, which lots of people have, we could just solve all the problems. Yeah. Why would you just get that? Why would you just think that you could solve all the world's problems with just 40 billion pounds? I don't know. And that's all it takes. So here's 40 billion. World, here's 40 billion. Famine. Slavery, everything just gone. 40 billion, solved it. Sorry. Why have you not asked Sony to stop spending money? Like, you continuously quote console sales, record profits made by Sony, yada yada, all the money. Why haven't you not said to Sony, stop sort of selling consoles. Solve world problems, yeah? We don't want PlayStation or gaming anymore. Just solve the world's problems, why don't you? Why have you just not gone to Sony and said that? Why is it up to Microsoft to heal the world, make it a better place?
They've spent double that just on getting IP, just to buy IP, to give you games you already had on your console.
Newsflash, Microsoft spent money to make money. The company just spent a load of money to make more money. Newsflash, everyone. Why didn't they just... And the games are going onto other platforms anyway to make money. That's how it works. You know, why bother? I don't know. Why did Sony spend $5 billion on Bungie for their games to go on Xbox? Why don't they make all their games exclusive? You tell me why these gas games that are coming out, why are they not exclusive? Why are they making gas games to put on other platforms? Wouldn't be to make revenue, would it? Wouldn't be interested in making money, are they, Sony? Surely not. No. Once again, you've gone off to Microsoft. You're not keeping the same energy, Sony. Why is they bought Bungie just to make... Why have they spent $5 billion on Bungie just to make Mario Plats? Why have they done that? Wooly, once you answer that, then you'll be able to answer the other question that you have for the world instead of buying tunnels.
Lastly, all I've ever said is that what they should be spending their money on, no, it's not bridges, mate. Absolute donut.
No, it was tunnels. 15 tunnels. They should have bought 15 tunnels, you said. I said bridges. Like, and you say, like, yeah, you're an idiot for saying bridges. Like tunnels is a much better alternative. They should have bought tunnels. That's... Where's he going with this? He's an idiot. This guy's an idiot. Just comes to a massive conclusion. He's a div. This guy's a div.
It's second party and third party exclusives. It's deals. It's exclusive games to incentivize an audience to buy into that ecosystem. That's all I've ever said.
Firstly, it's not all you've ever said. It's not at all you've ever said. Secondly, they are incentivizing people to buy into platform. It's the Xbox Game Pass platform. It's just they're not limiting themselves like morons to just one platform, to a box, to a limited box, to a box that has a finite amount of sales that it can reach, a finite marketplace. It's not infinite, it's finite. It can only, you know, the highest selling PlayStation is PlayStation 2 of 120 million. No other PlayStation is going to reach that because at the time PlayStation 2 had no competition. No PlayStation is going to reach that target. Even without Xbox, it won't reach that because more people move into PC gaming. So they've set in stone their market reach now. It's only going to be, let's just say, I'm going to be super generous, 100 million, right? PlayStation's only going to sell 100 million consoles. That is their market. You think Sony is happy with just only selling to 100 million? Yeah. Meanwhile, PC is in the billions. Xbox Game Pass is looking to reach those billions. You think Sony had just settled for 100 million? Yeah. They just want to sell to 100. And let's take into account that out of the 100 million, only a small percentage, about 10-15%, buy their exclusives. That 100 million. You think Sony, as a company, as a game company, wants to make money? No, they're not there to just look after you. They're not thinking. They don't go out in the morning and go, what should we do for Wooleygamer today? You know, how's Wooly getting on, everyone? Anyone checked up on Wooly? How's he doing? What should he advise we do? Buy tunnels. No, seriously, no. Stop it. I can't get tunnels out of my head now. Okay, composure. Right, so yeah, seriously, you can't comprehend what Game Pass is, and you can't understand because you're a console fanboy and you just want just a box and you're just shitting for boxes and being a cuck to a company that has no clue who you are. It doesn't care. They literally do not care who you are or your opinions on anything. Because of that, your mind is so narrow, you cannot envision something outside of a box. You cannot open your mind. You think exclusives matter. They don't. The top games played on PlayStation are all multiplats. They're not exclusives. You can go for your PlayStation exclusives, you can cap for exclusives, but Unfortunately, a lot of them will be games that are on every platform. Because people, the real gamers, don't really care for exclusives that much. There's very few very popular exclusives. And ironically, the most played games at the moment on PlayStation are Xbox games. Now, how does that work? How's that happening? And you're going to say, like everyone says, oh, but they're getting 30%. Xbox is getting 70%. On top of that, have you noticed? I mean, you keep boasting about it, PlayStation advertising Xbox games. Yes. Xbox isn't even paying for the marketing. They're making Sony pay for their own marketing. They're not even losing money on the marketing. They're just taking 70%.
So, I'm muting you now because you're there asking me to start up a podcast with you, but there you are, like, mate, you're just engagement farming. You're just trolling, and there's no genuine discussion to be had here. So, enjoy making your video, mate. Wish you all the best.
I actually enjoyed making this video very much. It really made me laugh. It's funny that you say engagement farming when literally you just kept quote tweeting what I was saying just to engagement farm your own audience and get them on board because you was losing the discussion. And it's funny because you was the most disingenuous, and it's funny because you tried to make a thing, you said it several times about me asking you to do a podcast, and I was showing everyone what I was saying and you was on board with it. The only reason you backtracked on it is just because I linked one of Alex's videos in it, which is really weird. I think that seems like a bit of an excuse to me. I don't know. It looks like it to me. And it's got nothing to do with console warring. You literally said that we would have two sides. The whole point of it was to have two sides. And I'm not going to go into it now because you're an idiot. And the world can see you're an idiot. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. And I've seen you going at Josh's editor right now. Alex's editor right now. Regarding a discussion, I've called you all out. Port Rock, you, KJN, King Thrash, like all of you. I said, come and debate me. I'm happy to debate any of you anytime, but you won't. You're all afraid because the box of it is that I know what I'm talking about and you all don't. And you quickly block me, mute me and anything just to avoid conversation with me because you know I'll embarrass you. You know I'll prove you wrong and it will look stupid. And like KJM, when I debated him, he deleted the debate because I made him look like an idiot. And that's why you avoid me. That's why you avoid me. King Thrash blocked me after the debate. Claimed he won, but blocked me and won't debate me again. And once again, I'm quite happy to have a debate of any of you anytime. So, you know, let's do this. That's what I wanted the podcast for. But anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Please put in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your opinions on what you think of the whole discussion. What you think of building tunnels and bridges and stuff. Do you have any opinions on tunnels and bridges? Do you think Microsoft should just go into the tunnel business? What do you think? Yeah, just your comments down below on the whole everything. just anything. You know, what's the weather like outside? Just a conversation downstairs. Below. No, seriously, thank you for watching. Please sub, share and like. I want to hit 1,000 and hopefully I'll see you all again soon for the next video. Thank you all and goodbye.